Hi, in this video I'll be demonstrating how to delete the EDC function. This is a EDC enabled shock. How I know it, you can see the wire here. If I open this up, you can see there the shock has a connection point, and these shocks are very expensive, and many people prefer to buy regular non-EDC shocks. So here is a replacement. You can see there is no wire here. Now, if I just install new shocks and I don't delete the EDC function, you're going to have errors when you are driving, and I'll quickly demonstrate. Right, so I'm disconnecting this, so you can see that I've actually disconnected the EDC there. Now there are no faults shown, and the reason being is the EDC is only activated when I go above 5 kilometers an hour. Right, so you can see I am able to toggle the EDC on and off, but it's not coming up with any fault as yet because the EDC only activates when the car is moving. So if I drive, right now when I drive over 5 k's an hour, we'll get the error. There it comes up. See, there's the error only after I started driving. Right, to remove the EDC from your vehicle, you're going to need to actually remove the EDC module or unplug it or remove the fuse. Best if you can unplug it and then remove the fuse. Then we write or change the coding. We change the vehicle order, or if it's the E65 and E61 or E60, we just remove that function. We make it not active on 2 modules. So now I'm going to demonstrate it. So most important thing is remove your connections, otherwise it will automatically recode by itself and you'll be stuck in a loop. Right, to remove the EDC, I'm going to show you 2 methods. The first one is to do with the vehicle order, and the second one is to do with the modules, the ECUs, the individual ECUs. Now, so the EDA bus server is running. I'm going to launch NCS Expert. I'm going to load the profile that I usually use. You must use expert mode. I just use this other profile, and I say F1, F3, E65, CAS, and straight away here I say enter FA. Now my car is E65. I say okay. It will just show the VIN number, and then I'll say okay. Now over here, this is where you're adding the function. Either you adding it or deleting it. Now in this case, in the list, you would have found this. That is the code for EDC. Now it would have been in the list, so it would have been there. On the E65 and some 5 series, we don't do it this way. So I'm just showing anybody who's watching this, you need to use the FA option, the vehicle order. Now here, you will see this 223 here. What you would want to do is you will actually say delete. So you see I've removed it. Then I'll say okay. Now this is a quick breakaway just to show you the full list for the VO, vehicle order coding, and here is a nice list so you can just see all the functions that are available on your vehicle. So in our case we're looking at S223, and if I scroll down you'll see here S223A, that is the electronic damper control. That is why I'm specifically removing 223. Remember that the S or the dollar and the A is kind of placeholders. Right, so if you go down this list, you can see that there are lots and lots of options here. Right, let's get back to the coding. Once I've said OK, I now need to press F6, the back button. Now we need to code the fact that we've removed that function, the 223, which is the EDC. So we want to choose an ECU. We don't want to program all the ECUs, so I just want to choose a specific one. In this case, it will be the CAS. So I will choose the CAS, and then I will then just say change job, and then over here it'll say FA write. So I'm going to write the vehicle order to the CAS, and I'll just say execute job. Right, so now I've effectively removed that from the vehicle order. But remember, I said this is not how we do it for the E65. I'm just using this as an example for those who are not using the E65. I will still show you how to do the E65. Now we need to do this exact same thing again, but now for the other ECU, which in this case, which will be the LMA. Now what I do is I just exit, and then I go back in, and I do the same thing again. So 1, 3, the car, the chassis, CAS, now FA, E65, checksum, It's the same there. If you see 233 here, remove it and then continue as I've shown. Now I say back, process ECU. Now in this case, I choose LMA. I say OK, OK, and then you change the job to FA right. You say OK, and then you'll execute the job. Now, for the E65, this does not work. I'll just show you what the problem with the E65 is. If I go here, and if I go to load profile, I say revtors, and I say F1, F3, choose my chassis, E65, I say enter vehicle order. Now, if you look here, you won't even find it here. The 223 is not even in the list because it's built into the car already. So in this case, even if you try to add it, it won't allow it. Because look at this, it'll come up with an error. So in the E65 case, and it's the 5 series, the older one, what we need to do is we need to just disable it on 2 of the modules, and I'll quickly show you what I do. So I go to NCS Expert, I say File, I say load the profile, then I say F1, F3, choose the chassis, the CAS, I say back. I then say process ECU, and in this case I'm processing 2 ECUs. It is SIM, so I say OK. I change the job, I say coder datum lesson, I say OK, and then I say execute the job. Now I'll go to my work folder here. If I just have a look here and I say Control F and I look for EDC, comes up there and it says active. And if I do another search, you'll see that's the only thing. So I need to change this to not active. Now you can use NCS Dummy if you find it easier to do this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to choose that was the SIM. So I'm just going to choose the SIM module here. In the E65 it's the SIM. Okay, let's just choose CO4. Right, and I'm just going to do a search. I'm going to say EDC, enter, and there it is, it's active. Now I'm going to make it not active, nicht active, nicht active. And you see, it says the electronic damper control installed. So I just say export it to the man file. All it's doing is it's changing the active to nicht active. You could just copy that phrase and swap it. Anyway, so all I need to do now is I say change job, because now I want to say SG coderen. And I'll say OK, and I'll say execute the job. Now I've coded the one module, now I've just got one more to code. That is the combi, because I don't want to get an error on my dash area. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to exit now, and I'm going to go back into NCS Expert. I'm going to say File, Load Profile, F1, F3, E65, OK, F6. Which ECU do we want? We want combi. There it is. I'm going to say change the job. I want to read the data, and I'm going to execute it. Now I can go to NCS Dummy and I can pick up that file. Why I like NCS Dummy is it makes it foolproof. You can't make mistakes here. You see, if I say search, there it is. It says it's active. Look at the line. It's a live counter for electronic damper control. There it says EDCK alive. And if I just go and show you in the trace file over here, if I do a search, Control F, and I say EDC, there it is, EDCK alive timer. And no, then if I do a search, another search, you'll see there it is, EDCK alive Zala, and there you see it's active, right? So we want to make it nicht active. If you wanted to be quicker, you could just copy that and paste it under the EDC line. Right, so I'm going to now export nicht active. So there we go. And now I just go to NCS Expert and I just say change the job, and I'll say SG coderen, and then I'll say OK, and now I'll say execute the job. And now it's done. Right, so even though I'm unplugging this, look, it's unplugged. and I'm now driving. Even though the shock is unplugged, there you can see it doesn't bring up that error. You have to make sure that when you do the coding, you have the ECU unplugged. Otherwise, as soon as you start the car, it's going to pick up the error and code it.